Andrew Carnegie.
Andrew Carnegie, one of the leading industrialists of the Gilded Age, had very humble beginnings. This start inspired him to strive for success. His father was a tactile weaver who got thrown out of business when steam weavers came along. His mother had only worked odd jobs for a little extra cash, so when his father lost his job, the family immigrated to America. Carnegie traveled to America with nothing and worked hard to rise and become one of the richest people ever. He worked as a telegraph translator where he caught the attention of Thomas A. Scott, who became a great mentor and helped him progress further by hiring him as his personal secretary.
Carnegie worked under Scott at Pennsylvania Railroad until he saw the potential in the iron industry and resigned. He turned his attention to founding the Keystone Bridge Company. This was one of the risks that would help him earn his fortune. While at the Keystone Bridge Company, he helped make the first railroad bridge across the Mississippi. The profit from that company provided him with a fund to begin in a new industry, steel. He co-founded his first steel company called the J. Edgar Thompson Steel Works near Pittsburgh. Eventually, after years of work in smart business ventures, Carnegie controlled almost all parts of the steel industry. When Carnegie started into this industry, his new company built the first steel plants in the United States that used the Bessemer steelmaking process. He used what is known as vertical integration to control all steps to change raw materials into finished products. He purchased the coke fields and iron ore deposits that housed the raw materials for steelmaking. He also bought the ships and railroads that transported these supplies. His company used detailed cost and production accounting that enabled them to be much more efficient than other manufacturing industries of this time. Carnegie's mills also introduced basic open hearth furnaces into steelmaking. Carnegie absolutely dominated the steel industry as one of the main providers, producing 1/4 of the country's steel.
Carnegie had many core beliefs and principles. He believed that everyone should have access to education, even if it was just self-education, similar to how he had taught himself using books growing up. He believed that it was important to invest in foundations that would benefit people years beyond their initial creation. He was strongly against war and therefore dedicated himself to multiple peace initiatives. Once he had gained his wealth, he had written the Gospel of Wealth, which advised fellow millionaires on how they should handle their money. He argued that other incredibly rich people like himself should be actively engaging and participating in philanthropy and charity. This would help to close the gap between the rich and the poor.
Because Carnegie believed that everyone deserved to have an education, he funded approximately 1,700 public libraries. The Carnegie library system provided people with a place to learn, and even included public restrooms that gave people access to running water to clean themselves. He also used his wealth to establish numerous colleges, schools, and nonprofit organizations in many countries. He invested in countless institutions that are still important today, such as the Carnegie Museum, Carnegie Mellon University, and Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. During his lifetime, Andrew Carnegie donated more than half of his wealth, over $350 million, which is roughly equivalent to $5.2 billion today. Although unsuccessful, he attempted to give away his entire fortune before his death.
The many foundations that are still so prominent today add to the effect of his great legacy. The Carnegie name is well known, especially in our city of Pittsburgh, but truly across the nation. The work that he did as a dominant industrialist, changing the steel industry, and later philanthropist, creating and donating so much to society, changed the world that we live in today. The work that he, along with others, did to further our industry during the Gilded Age allowed the United States to grow as a major power on a global stage.